Anytime the water's higher, it's good for everybody. So there needs to be something being done to hopefully alleviate what's become a long-term problem for the entire Southwest.
The combination of having very little water in the reservoirs at the same time that we're not being bailed out by a wet year means that we're in the crisis today.
Lake Mead water levels are, no doubt a historic low. What's important to also understand is from a recreational standpoint, it's still the largest man-made reservoir in North America. Lake Powell, which we're connected to, is number 2. So as far as from a recreational standpoint, there's a lot of water to have fun on. It's great boating. It's a fun time for people to have still, even at historical low water levels.
So as I was driving down from Boulder City, I could see the amount of white rock. And I remember seeing that in 2002 when I was here a little bit. And then in 2010 I saw it again, but to see this now, it's kind of actually concerning.
At Lake Mead, we can drop about 4.5 feet, and then hydropower production begins to be compromised. It doesn't come to an end, but it does begin to be compromised and become inefficient. And so then access to that electricity that supplies Southern Nevada, that supplies the pumps that pump water to LA, that is used throughout that part of the world, begins to be compromised.
Southwest, south and west, east and boot. So, but the thing about that line is, it's only been full one time ever in the history of the lake, ever.
Well, it looks pretty depressing. I came here in 1990, almost to the top. Last time it was full was 83. And, it's so drastic. All that white mark is where the water level used to be. I call it the bath ring.
In the long run, if one looks at this issue in the 50 to 100 year perspective, then a warming planet is the problem, full stop. It is all related to dry soils and a snowpack that disappears and the melting snows that don't get into the stream system.
So something needs to be done as far as, water conservation that's further than what's already happening. Also, maybe ways to allow water to come into the system a different way, desalinization, whatever it might be. Something else needs to happen because obviously snowpack isn't handling it the way it used to for all these years.